Mohammed bin Salman, brutal dictator or visionary reformer? Who among us hasn't dreamt of having a meteoric rise right after the university, to wave a magic wand and poof, to become one of the most influential leaders of the world? The magic wand will not help you, and even abracadabra won't work, unless you're Saudi Arabia Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. We have analyzed how Mohammed bin Salman has become the Minister of Defense, managed to concentrate power in his own hands, and what steps he is planning to take to build new Saudi Arabia, modern and progressive. Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS for short, was born on 31st of August 1985 in Riyadh. He is one of the current King Salman's 13 children. Bin Salman is translated as the son of Salman from Arabic. Despite the fact that Saudi princes usually get their higher education abroad, MBS has decided to stay at home and graduated from King Saud University with a degree in law. So what usually happens between earning a bachelor's degree in law and becoming dominant force in Saudi Arabia? To answer this question, let's have a brief look at the order of succession to the Saudi Arabian throne. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia was founded in 1932 by Abdulaziz Saud. King Abdulaziz ruled from 1932 to 1953. After he died in 1953, rule passed to a succession of his sons, from oldest to youngest, with some brothers skipped over. Mohammed's father, current King of Saudi Arabia, Salman, was the 25th of his father's 36 sons. So the prospect of his becoming king was very remote. There were simply too many others ahead of him in line. However, a series of deaths happened in the family.
Prince Sultan bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, the half-brother of the King of Saudi Arabia, has died after being treated for an undisclosed illness in the United States.
Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Naif bin Abdulaziz Al Saud has died in Geneva, a royal court statement announced on Saturday.
And once King Abdullah named Salman the new crown prince. And suddenly Mohammed's father was next in line to the throne and well positioned to empower his favorite son. When Salman became the king in 2015, he made every effort to establish and legitimate the new system of succession. Firstly, Prince Mukrin became the crown prince. He was replaced 3 months later by Mohammed bin Naif. On the morning of the 21st of June 2017, Mohammed bin Naif was deposed as crown prince, and Salman's son, Mohammed bin Salman, was appointed to the position. The idea was to set the hereditary principle when the son succeeds his father. MBS holds not only the positions of the Crown Prince, but also serves as First Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Defense, and President of the Council for the Economic and Development Affairs. Due to King Salman's ill health and advanced age, MBS is seen to be the true power behind the throne. Mohammed bin Salman has been leading his nation for about 4 years so far. What changes have been made to Saudi society? What objectives have been achieved? And how many wars has he already started? Mohammed bin Salman fancies himself as a visionary reformer. His main goal is to combine modern technologies and new life approach with Saudi traditions and faithfulness. All these expectations and long-term goals have been expressed in Saudi Vision 2030. This document positions Saudi Arabia at the heart of the Arab and Islamic world, as well as outlines further objectives such as Saudi Arabia's determination to become a global investment powerhouse and the global transport hub connecting Asia, Europe, and Africa, to liberalize the Saudi economy and reduce its dependence on hydrocarbons, to build a country in which all citizens can fulfill their dreams, hopes, and ambitions. That is what MBS said in his message. Beautiful words. Let's have a look at what we have in reality. Human rights issue is one of the most important topics if we speak about Saudi society. The number of positive changes has been recently made. The government recently pledged to permit women to drive. allow movie theaters into the country, and to teach physical education to girls in schools. These are important steps, especially for gender equality. It is an undeniable fact that Saudi Arabia has become more open and accessible to a broader audience after MBS took power. Before 2019, it was almost impossible for an ordinary person to get a tourist visa, only for Hajj or on business. Saudi Arabia started to issue tourist e-visas and visas on arrival from September 2019. To increase the flow of tourists and make the country a technology hub, Saudi Arabia is developing the world's most ambitious project, called NEOM. NEOM is a planned futuristic megacity on the Red Sea coast in the northwestern Saudi province of Tabuk. It will cost Saudi Arabia at least $500 billion. Cloud seeding, a technology to make artificial clouds. Robotic dinosaurs, a giant artificial moon. Flying taxis, holographic teachers are supposed to become very common for NEOM citizens. Some progress has already been made. NEOM Airport is nearly finished and has already been registered as an official international airport. The future of the project is not as bright as we may expect. Saudi Arabia may not see vast amounts of foreign investments in the nearest future. There are several reasons. The main one is, although MBS wants the world to see him as a visionary reformer, he acts as a medieval dictator. Saudi officials are allegedly connected to Jamal Khashoggi's disappearance and death. Jamal Khashoggi was a US-based journalist and critic of Saudi Arabia's government. On the 2nd of October 2018, he walked into the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, where he was murdered. According to the BBC, a United Nations Special Rapporteur concluded that Khashoggi was the victim of a deliberate, premeditated execution, an extrajudicial killing for which the Saudi Arabia is responsible. She also found there was credible evidence that Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and other high-level officials were individually liable. The Saudi government, which denies the prince was involved, rejected the report. Consequently, Mohammed bin Salman's reputation was permanently tainted by this sad event. Now, MBS is not only the short form for Mohammed bin Salman, but it also refers to his new nickname, Mr. Bon So. That wasn't the only case when MBS showed he had power in his hands. In November 2017, a number of prominent Saudi Arabian princes, government ministers, and business people were locked at the luxurious Ritz-Carlton hotel, accused of corruption. The arrest had been decreed by the monarch, King Salman, and carried out by his powerful son, Mohammed bin Salman, who had become the chair of Anti-Corruption Committee. The campaign lasted for more than a year. As a result, 381 individuals were ordered, and some of them as witnesses. Settlements have been made with 87 individuals, resulting in recovering of 107 billion in the form of real estate, companies, cash, and other assets. Some experts believe there was an attempt to weed out dissent and strengthen Prince Mohammed's control of the kingdom's security institutions, which had long been headed by separate powerful branches of the ruling family. These unpleasant stories are not the only ones connected with Saudi Crown Prince. The Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos had his mobile phone hacked in 2018 after receiving a WhatsApp message that had apparently been sent from Mohammed bin Salman. So, think twice before you start chatting with Mohammed bin Salman via WhatsApp. The new data from the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute shows that the flow of arms to the Middle East has increased, and Saudi Arabia is clearly the world's largest importer. Its imports of major arms increased by 130%, and it accounted for 12% of global arms imports. The USA, the UK, and France are the largest arms suppliers to Saudi Arabia. It explains why Western countries usually turn a blind eye on undemocratic practices in Saudi Arabia. Why does MBS need so much armament? The answer is simple. Saudi Arabia is currently waging the war in Yemen. In March 2015, a Saudi-led coalition began bombing Houthi rebels because the kingdom regards the Houthis as Iranian proxies. The Saudi-led coalition has been repeatedly accused by rights groups of unlawful airstrikes on civilian targets, some of which they say may account to war crimes. Even if the Saudi Arabia-led coalition had targeted legitimate military objectives, it is highly unlikely that the principles of international humanitarian law of proportionality and precautions in attack were respected. Despite the fact that Mohammed bin Salman is an ardent fighter against corruption, his own fortune is rapidly increasing. The total wealth of the Saudi royal family could be worth as much as 1.4 trillion. The British royal family, for comparison, is worth an estimated 88 billion. Bin Salman's personal fortune is believed to be as much as 7 billion. He also owns a 440-foot yacht named Serene. In 2015, Prince Mohammed bought a chateau in France for 300 million and picked up a Leonardo da Vinci painting for 450 million at Christie's auction in 2017. Finally, Mohammed bin Salman is going to become the king, and kings in Saudi Arabia usually reign till the last days of their lives. So Mohammed bin Salman is supposed to be at the helm of the country for about 40 or 50 years to come, if nothing extraordinary happens. If you like this video, please share it with your friends, and live your life to the fullest!